Hi, welcome to the Age of New Beginnings. And today we have a wonderful episode that you're going to learn about the incredible event that Andrew's been doing now for 11 years. It's his Earth Day event, which is about global peace, love, and universal consciousness. And Andrew has been living and breathing that for how many years now?
21 years.
Yes. An exquisite hello, Peter. Great to see you once again. Pete is amazing. Whenever you find a spiritual event that takes your breath away, you're going to find Peter and the peace lights with it. And it's exquisite array of moving vibrational light and energy.
Yeah, the colors represent the different cultures in the world, and the motion represents how those cultures interact to achieve this harmony and peace around the world. It has the word peace lights at the beginning, and then peace lights in 55 languages throughout, and it's been shown all over the world. It continues to show all over the world. I tell people peace lights has a life of its own at this point, and I'm kind of along for the ride, so it's pretty fun. But yeah, this has just been a great event, and it's nice to have two displays showing peace lights, and we have corporate sponsors. Those two TVs inside were donated for peace lights. We have a 60-inch TV that's donated for peace lights, 2,500 lumen projector, and a corporate sponsor. You've seen some of the projections.
Fantastic!
Anytime we want to show peace lights, we get support. So
you're a non-for-profit that people can find you.
Well, Peace Lights is online. It's free, and the not-for-profit doesn't exist yet, but it's coming.
Right.
And yeah, you can download it for free and just attach it to some event. And it plays in schools when peace education is discussed. It's played at civic events, weddings, a lot of conferences and churches, synagogues, mosques, everywhere. It just plays around. A lot of music, great music tonight.
Absolutely.
There's been so much great music played while Peace Lights has been playing in the background since it's been around. It's amazing.
To continue, we're picking up with the lovely Jody Sirota, my dear friend for so long. And a few words about Jody. Jody Sirota is a life-changing metaphysical educator, channel, vibrational healer, and professional artist. Her in-depth intuitive abilities and her remarkable sound healing powers are used to create initiations and activations that instantly make major shifts in consciousness and healing. She holds individual channeled sessions, teaches classes, and creates multimedia concerts and events for personal growth, transformation, and the creative process. She is co-author of the book, Healing the Heart of the World. She is on the board of FIONS, the Friends of the Institute of Noetic Sciences, and she was also the owner and creator of a wonderful place that was a real gathering center for us all for many years, the Meta Center. She will be speaking and actually doing a beautiful, beautiful thing here called Awakening Your Codes of Consciousness for Recognizing and Embodying Yourself as the New Human on the New Earth, with an open heart, embracing the all-inclusive frequency of love. Thank you, Jody.
Thank you. So what I wanted to focus on, I work off the group that's present on the channel, so I just kind of, whatever comes through, I work with. That was the focus that I got. Part of the understanding of being on the planet is to know that we are spirit first, and this is just one of our incarnations on the earth. But what I find in most of my work is that most people haven't really fully come to terms with the fact that they're here on the earth, because there's so much suffering going on and shifts and changes, especially at this time, during this time of ascension, that a lot of people lately I've been hearing, they're not even sure they should be here anymore because they just don't know where they are, what they're doing, everything is falling apart. It's been prophesied that there would be a falling down or falling apart of a lot of the foundational things that we thought in the illusion were here to support us. And it's like changing the lens of what we're looking through from having experiences, I believe, in other lifetimes, I'm working multidimensionally, and on the earth, in the earth, on the earth, and beyond the earth. So we've all gone through all different lifetimes, all different experiences, even in this lifetime, and we start to have perceptions and belief systems and thought forms, and also some of them based on traumas of who we are in relation to the greater whole. And right at this point now we're going through an ascension process. Usually you need to die to go to a higher level, you leave the planet and get a better, like a higher view or bigger view of what you could have learned from being on this planet to then get that understanding and kind of move to a much higher level of your consciousness. But this is a particular time where we're ascending on this plane. And there's always a sense of something has to die in order to ascend. So this is about the deaths of being on the earth, but the death is of our karmic experiences, the karmic perceptions and belief systems. So there has to be a death of some sort, but it's not a physical death. It's almost like having more than one lifetime within the same lifetime, where we can come into this higher level of consciousness while we're on this plane rather than having to leave the plane, the earth, to be able to get the higher understanding and raise our vibration and frequency. So we're being able to finally have that sense of that higher vibration, which we already are. It's all about remembering who we already are rather than having to fix something to get to something that we're searching for or yearning for. So right now, there's only 4 times in history that this has happened where there's a particular alignment with the stargates and the earth, so that we can have this alignment where there's higher frequency energy being infused, like transmissions of energy coming into the planet. And some of you may have already been feeling you're going through shifts and changes. In order to do that, though, we have to go through some form of a death of something. It can sometimes feel like you're dying and feel like you're wanting to leave already, because it feels like we're in an in-between time, or like in between different dimensions, where we've already gone past and where we're coming into, but we're not quite sure what we're coming to yet. But we usually need to know something in our perception to be able to then focus on getting it to wherever it's trying to get to. Right now we're in this in-between state of moving from what I call 4th dimension polarities of patterns. In order to move through polarity of a pattern, you need to open your heart and embrace both sides of the pattern with love and forgiveness and acceptance and recognition, to then have the wholeness of the pattern to move to 5th dimensional consciousness, which is more about the open heart. 6th dimension is more about the maintaining of that. So we're kind of in this 4th dimensional reality, moving from these polarities of understandings and things that have been passed down through lineage, generations, ancestries, things that have been taught to us, things that we've experienced and perceived ourselves out of survival, to come into a whole new way of just surviving and being here. But we're here to really be able to be. And we have to understand or acknowledge or recognize that on a higher conscious point of view, before we came into this planet, we made choices with our councils of light, and we chose that we would come to be here, those that are here, not just here, but here on the earth, to be here at these particular times that were not necessarily easy times. We knew this before we came, but coming into a birthing process, we forgot a lot of what we knew before, and we're sort of coming back to remembering the truth of who we are as multidimensional beings, living here, there, and everywhere simultaneously. So this is a time period when only particular beings have chosen to be here on the planet, and we are all that are here, and everyone else that's on the planet, we're all here where we make a difference, and we're all souls that are aware enough to be able to be here at this time during all these shifts and changes. So what I'm going to do is I work with sounds through my voice, and they're sounds that are from all different dimensions. They activate your consciousness, they're for healing. I also work with what's called light languages. They're languages of light. They're a combination of energies that are from the earth plane before karmic patterning began, before humans even inhabited the earth, in combination with the star systems, the planets, and beyond the beyond. So when you hear these languages mixed with the sounds and some of the information I might bring through, it helps you to awaken your codes of consciousness, but it helps you to remember yourself as being multidimensional. And then in that, you'll be able to remember on some level kind of why you're here and what you're here to experience, to learn, to teach, to be, and all through the open heart. The key to the connection to everything is through the open heart. And as humans, we tend to close our hearts down out of survival. So it's moving us from survival to really living and thriving, and also from illusion to truth. That's what this whole time period has been and is about. And as Mitch was talking about before, all the things that are happening, it seems like, why bother? There's so many things going on now and so many things coming up that are bringing us into, some of it is just despair, and some people are getting depressed, some people are just feeling like, what's the point? And while we're also trying to kind of come into the actual point of why we're here. So these sounds and these frequencies that I'm going to bring through, I work a lot of times with my voice. I've been told I use it as like a synthesizer. It kind of realigns your consciousness. It realigns your whole field of consciousness with your physical body. And the whole thing is about acknowledging that we made a higher conscious choice to come into this plane and to be on the earth at this time with everyone else that's here, and to allow ourselves to accept that that higher conscious choice was a good, right, and safe choice, so that you can trust your feelings to make choices in your life on the earth. So this is a time where we're here to really go inward and examine what's the truth and what's the illusion, and how the illusion has actually served us in our illusion, so that we can now shift all of that and come into a much higher level of frequency. So whether you understood any of that of what I just said, I'm going to just work with sound and go past your minds, and then you're going to get to experience energy of your own and energies that are coming in, and the earth. So something you would like to shift. It could be something physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, something about yourself, though. It could be something in your life. This is a major time of change. Breathe into your heart center. And as you breathe into your heart, breathe all the way through to the back, the front, and the sides. Breathe into the sacred space within your heart where you hold the parts within you of your own feelings that you haven't addressed yet, recognized, or acknowledged. As if today you can awaken a whole other part of your heart that will help you to feel connected to yourself, to others, to all forms of consciousness in the earth, on the earth, and beyond. So you feel connected and never alone, and part of something. These are all about gathering the people, gathering parts of yourself, recognizing yourselves. So I'm going to work with sound. That'll be like sound signatures that bring back all the parts of yourself into the center of your being to remember who you already are. Ashalamalakila kalagita letuku dalelila shalale matoa Omahaya shikita lahianado. Breathe. Amahaya shakali maleti kurupa. Shalali malakila malakata le la darosho. Amahayele kushia la roma. Amarashila kalakisa la yemadoa. Amahia dahiyo. Amarakia de. Call in within yourselves, call in the parts of yourselves where you were so beside yourself because you might have been in fear or confused at any time, any space, any dimension in your lifetimes, whether you even know when that was or what that is at all. But just when you're overwhelmed, we sometimes say we're besides ourselves. So this is to bring you back all the parts of your being, to come back in to your own being, to feel wholeness again. And let the sounds bring you back into yourselves, calling you back through the sound, the vibration, the frequency, as if you can ride back into yourself. Breathe. We speak to your hearts, we speak to your souls, we speak to every part of your being, to feel yourselves on this earth. Feel the earth hold a space for you, as if she invited you here to participate in everything she had to offer for you. This is for you to allow yourselves to open your hearts to receive now, to receive what's available in the groundedness and the anchoring of your own soul into your own body. So you feel the wholeness of being here, but through the open heart you don't lose your connection to the greater whole, the higher dimensions. We speak to every part of your being, all the parts of yourselves that you negate within yourselves, or that have been negated by others. There's a healing here for you. Breathe and feel the healing through the sounds that will penetrate, revitalize, regenerate, all the way down to the DNA of your cells, and the membranes that wrap around your cells that hold the energy of information to infuse your cells for healing. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, psychic, creative, sensual, sexual, financial, on any level. Shania Matikian the Putin Yada Garabadim Bariki Parkim Badega the Bargida Vargida 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 Vargina Mangala Bagina Badi the Boganya Manang activating your cells to awaken you to remember who you are. Sashikia takora kalabikite, the maraki shalakalade, asalakim salakim salakim balakhalakitale, ishkalakhalali lalakhalamarakita. The energies of the angels and the archangels and the legions of them surround you now. They infuse you from their hearts to your heart, to open your heart and receive the love of all the angels and archangels, all the legions of them, simultaneously infusing you with a connection through love and allowing your own love to be sent out back to them, back and forth, just through your breath. Make a choice that every time you breathe, consciously or unconsciously, you allow yourself to open your heart instantly, without thought, so that you can feel your connection to yourself and to all that exists. Sashala malaki lala katan, eleki salah elekim leshkete, yakaram baraki shal alanim, askalali malatalakim talake, ishalal alal ikya toro maraki shan, eskatina la kaliki, ashalakim blakara, doru shamaraki tale elei sa shalamadakuma.
Welcome back to Age of New Beginnings, and I'm here with Sylvia Moss. She's amazing. She is a sound healer.
Yes.
And you work along also with Akashic Records.
Yes.
Which not everybody even knows what that is.
Well, yeah, I know. It's kind of a mystery in a way. But Akashic Records readings have been going on for years and centuries. And they're really similar to past life readings, only they're very much like a healing, where you clear things.
Now, the Akashic Records, the way I was, I guess, that I know of it, it's kind of like a library
Yes.
of lives.
Yes, yes, it is.
Right.
Yes. And they're like, when I see it, when I go into doing a reading, it's like being in a giant library.
Yes.
It's very Disney-like in my mind. And all of a
Yes.
sudden, this book sort of floats down. It's golden. And it opens up.
Uh-huh.
And then I get all this information. But I'm also working with the beings up above to getting this information.
And as you're doing that, you're channeling into the essence of that person,
Yes.
of what they need for their highest and best at that
Yes.
moment.
Yes.
And they do an energetic shift.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I see this, it's just not a whole life. It'll be just one scene or one event that happened that caused them to be having disbeliefs or obstacles in this lifetime now,
Right, right.
that present time. So it's very powerful.
Absolutely. Hits what you need to hit at that moment in that time.
Exactly.
Because sometimes you go back.
Yeah.
Right. In other words, they'll call you now, go through this beautiful, incredible shift, and then find themselves, well, you know what? There's something else surfacing for me.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's in layers. It's like in any kind of healing. So I do energetic vibrational healing with sound. It's the same kind of thing. It's
Right.
layers. It's
Yes.
like you clear this, and then you have to clear this,
The next
and you just keep clearing and clearing.
Fantastic.
But the crystal bowls,
Oh,
really,
is that gorgeous?
the crystal
Those
bowls
tones.
really make a big difference. I've been writing right now on some things about crystal bowls that I felt that people didn't know enough about what was really going on when the crystal bowl was played on them.
Right.
And what can I tell you? It's miraculous
It really is.
because it goes so deep. And in the bowls themselves are not just beautiful sounds, but they themselves are little shamans. They work on you.
Yes.
And so it's really,
Now, what's wild about bowls, there are different types of bowls.
Yes.
There's bowls that are stones. They're made out of different elements.
yes.
And so that creates like a different frequency that kind of really permeates in somebody's energetic system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're made from crystal. The ones I have are alchemy crystal bowls.
Right.
So they're made with precious and semi-precious stones. So it's the quartz crystal that resonates with our body, because in our body is a lot of silica, and in the crystal bowl is silica. So when that's played, our body just goes, ah.
Everybody can see how exquisite you are,
the
but they should be contacting you so they can
Yes.
make those appointments with healing with you.
Yes.
How do they find you?
My cell phone number is 917-650-3841. And my email is sylvia@sylviamoss.com.
Fantastic.
And breathe, just breathe, just breathe. This crystal ball is the F-sharp frequency of the higher heart. This is to remember your sacredness, to complete this. Ashana malakita leletar, amahar, amahar, amaharahi yehi amadei, aihe rohisho, ahiyado shande, amahayego. As if you're calling out to your own soul to come into your body, to live in and express through in this lifetime. Accepting that higher conscious choice, allowing yourselves to receive the fullness of your own being, calling in your masculine and feminine energies to be partners, the purest form of relationship, a partnership, a relationship with a partnership, the masculine and the feminine parts of your being in wholeness, the true soulmate, living within your own body. Feel your connection now to the earth. Let her hold the space with her gravity, anchoring you in more fully, your full divine presence now. And as you do this, feel your connection still from the energy of the great, great, great central sun beyond our sun, anchoring in the highest form of light and love through your crown, while the earth brings the energy of her maternal energy up through you to your heart. They meet in the center, activating your own masculine and feminine, the alignment of truth, the alignment of collaboration. Feel the energy of your own heartbeat connecting with the heartbeat of the earth's heart, coming into alignment with the heart now, with the earth now, through the heartbeat. Rhythm, the rhythm is connected. It's the same as if you were in the mother's womb, with the heartbeat of the mother and the child, with the nurturing of the highest form of the purest of mother, awakening you to the truth and remembrance of who you are as spirit in physical form on this planet at this time, making a difference just by being here.
Boy, did that shift consciousness, huh? It's funny, as you were doing that, Jody, I was remembering that today is the Jewish Shabbat. And I'm saying that because I had the feeling of the presence of the Shekinah, the divine feminine nature of the soul in the Kabbalah. And I feel that you really hit that note of the Shekinah, and it's awesome to be able to bring forward. And I'll just also make a note to kind of follow up on some of what's been said already, of looking at the subjective nature of reality, which Jody so much brought forward just now, and the objective sense of reality. And I like to remember that we have several brains, but in the skull we have two main ones, the left and the right, and they represent, yes, of course, the yin and the yang, the male and the female, the masculine and feminine, but also the idea of an intuitive mind and one that is more analytic. And our lives, of course, are an interesting blend of the two. And it's supposed to be that way. We're not supposed to be just one or just the other. And that blend is what creates this idea that science has of coherence. And as you were doing that, Jody, I was thinking about what you were doing, bringing us into the depth of our subjective reality and the magnificence of that. And I was thinking for a moment also of Kurt and what he was saying, to engage our higher mental functions, to bring us along, to learn how to examine and to reflect and to contemplate our lives and essentially the nature of reality. And the two are doing this magnificent dance between these, and we're all here to help celebrate that, because you can even look at the earth as, was it Peter Russell who wrote The Global Brain, where the two are also doing a dance, and it's up to us to mediate between the two. And that's the human life. And the Taoist, the ancient Taoist perspective, it's man, heaven, and earth, and man is the modulator between the two, between heaven and earth, about our higher mental nature and our earthy nature of the chi, the life force that we received from below. So, thank you. Appreciate it. So, moving right along as we integrate all of that energy, we will be now hearing Ron and Victoria Friedman, who are beautiful, dear friends. They are both visionaries, pioneers, and leaders in the field of collective consciousness, and co-founders of the Vistar Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to exploring the power and potential of collective intelligence. Ron, who's a physician, and Victoria, an artist, developed the Vistar method, which is a structured meeting format for collective awakening, co-creativity, and conscious meetings. They have 30 years experience with intensive spiritual group work and train Vistar Circle leaders. Victoria and Ron produce large and small scale events that inspire and involve people in new creative forms of spiritual expression with a focus on a connectivity and conscious culture. So please welcome Victoria and Ron Friedman.
So I'm Victoria, and this is Ron, and we've been exploring collective consciousness for 30 years, and that means we've been exploring people coming together in gatherings like this one, and also in meetings and in circles, and we have been really investigating what brings us together, what leads us to a higher consciousness, what brings us to a field of unity, and what separates us. So we're great explorers, and that's what we'd like to do with you tonight, because we have a half an hour with you, and we'd like to spend a few minutes just orienting you to what we're going to be doing, about 10 minutes, and then we'll spend 15 minutes with all of you and give people a chance to come up and send a message to Earth. So you'll be invited if you want to do that. Also, there are people who have some quotes we've given out, so that's what we'll be doing.
Thank you, Mitchell, for that wonderful introduction. And it's a privilege and a joy to be here with all of you, because what is so important is not only the material that we covered, it is essential. It is essential to share now. But it is the way in which we come together. This world needs a new paradigm of people coming together without violence, with an open heart, and allowing the creativity that is naturally ours to express itself. We were very fortunate for many, many years to be in an atmosphere of what we call collective consciousness. This was a group of very dedicated individuals who frequently met for a long, long time. And we began to realize that this kind of a meeting, with this kind of an alignment of individuals, actually had some remarkable properties, some remarkable aspects, produced extraordinary creativity, changed relationships between people, and allowed us to form what we called a unique human technology. And God knows we need human technologies. We have enough of the other type. We have to learn how to deal with it, how to control it, how to modify it for essentially human purpose. One of the aspects of this kind of a gathering that we call collective consciousness is consciousness. Consciousness exists when we come together, and it exists in different frequencies. And each one of these different frequencies allows access to a different realm, if you will, of reality, different forms of creativity. And so I'm going to turn this to Victoria, and let's perhaps try to reset our awareness right here. I'm not sure, I don't know how many of you are sitting here in this kind of triple awareness that we're going to be talking about. It was actually mentioned by Jody and exhibited by Jody. But Let's try it.
When you feel a peaceful joy, that's when you are near truth. Rumi. I'd like to add something I wrote a while back. Courage is fear saying a prayer on the wings of grace.
Love possesses 700 wings, and each one extends from the highest heaven to the lowest earth. Rumi. My gift, my name is Donald Ted, and I was fortunate in my training in psychiatry at Johns Hopkins to have as my favorite mentor Jerome Frank, who was at that time the world expert on the cause of war and the cause of peace. So my gift to the world is I've written 7 books and author a program which is available on this sheet. Everything is free, and if anyone would like to come to my website, you'll find an interview by Jack Canfield for an hour on his views on world peace and other information. So that's my gift, and you can pass it on, and all of these books are free, and you can also give them to your friends for free as your gift. So.
Blessings, bendiciones. Yo soy Rosangel Bashamanesa Perez, host of Cafecito Break and one of the sisters of Botanical. First, I just want to say that the exercise that we did when we just all looked at each other, for those who are seeing it live, I don't know if I have ever felt a frequency of so much love pouring through that. I am so emotional. And I just want to thank you because I feel the love here. And so my dedication, my love is redirecting it all to you, to Earth. We are in need of love, of healing, and so many of us are feeling achy. And the current of Mother Earth and Mother Mary, she's within us. And now is the time to gently offer that grace and loving goodness to the earth. And remember that she is here supporting us.
Peace begins with a smile. Smile 5 times a day at someone you really don't want to smile at. Do it for peace. Mother Teresa. It's unexpected. I promise tonight when I go home on the subway, I will smile 5 times at people that I don't want to smile at. Hi, Mom. Congress. Peace begins with a smile. Smile 5 times a day at someone you don't want to smile at. Do it for peace.
Feel your heart. Feel your feet. Send your heart and your love down to Mother Earth. Send your prayers, your love. And I want to tell her that we all love her and that we're sending our love and our healing to her every day so that she may be the strength that we all depend on. Blessed be.
We'll do this for a few minutes, and you'll see that it tends to stop by itself and leave us with a moment or two of silence. So please.
The poems I'm going to be sharing is Rick Olphick on keyboards and Parmeet Russell Tubbs. I encourage all of you to close your eyes and allow the words to take you on a journey poetically. I dream a dream where my reality is the width of my fantasies, where there are no limits, no doubts, full of love and gratitude, to let go of what was and open a new chamber for growth, expansion, and manifestation of my highest intent, to share my dreams with the world, where my reality is but a whiff of my fantasies everlasting, where no limits apply and all boundaries are met with circumstances and compassion. Manifestation of my highest intent is to share my deepest dreams for heaven on earth materialized, where oneness is one for all and unity is in all communities.
Now for another talking about friends, dear friend and brother Dr. Kurt Johnson, who is the co-author of The Coming Interspiritual Age, co-founded with Brother Wayne Teasdale what is today the Interspiritual Network. A former monk and PhD in evolution and ecology, Kurt has served on the faculty of New York's Interfaith Seminary for 12 years and for 25 years was associated there with the American Museum of Natural History. He is co-author of 2 award-winning popular science books, Nabokov's Blues and Fine Lines. He is the host of the Convergence series on Voice America and co-editor of 2 magazines, The Convergence and Light on Light. He serves on 2 committees at the United Nations, Spirituality and International Yoga Day. He is a member of or founder of the Evolutionary Leaders, the International Contemplative Alliance, the Gaia Field and Subtle Activism Networks, the Self-Care to Earth Care Network, and president of the Friends of the Institute for Noetic Sciences.
Now, there's a new paradigm that's emerged. It's emerged basically through a series of conferences over the last 5-10 years. Deepak Chopra has been a major part of it. Stuart Hameroff, Rudolph Tanzi, who's head of neuroscience at Harvard, Peter Russell, and the inventor of the microprocessor, Federico Fagin. Now, these are all guys that have had non-dual experiences in their own internal life. And because they were also major scientists, they said, hey, the reductionist world ain't true. I can see that. So I've got to take my science, I've got to take my math, and I've got to come up with how that can work another way. So they've been presenting their view of how the universe is actually put together. And I'm just going to say it very, very briefly because it's easy to understand and it's so important. And that is this. It all starts with information. And information is very simple. It's yes, no, plus, minus, or the way all your binary systems in your computers are put together to program with plus, minus, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, whatever it would be, blah, 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 right? Now, if you look at the distribution of information, it becomes probabilities, right? And if you look at probability curves, which are lots of bell curves, you've seen them everywhere, those are waveforms, right? And waveforms are what energy is, right? And so energy then goes through the Higgs boson transition, it takes on mass, and then from that comes all of the higher structures of mass, clear out the supernovas or the biggest things that we can see in the universe. So again, contrary to the assumption of conventional science before that everything came from material, and as far as consciousness goes, it came from the brain, and this was headquarters, and these were the 2 windows on headquarters that we were looking out to an external world. They're saying, no, that's not true. Actually, it moves, as the wisdom traditions have said for millennia, it moves from the formless to the world of form. So it moves from the world of information to the world of probabilities, the world of waveforms, energy, and then mass and structure. So then the question arises, where does the information come from? And who's working the information? Is DNA itself completely fixed and discrete, or can it be changed by information? And it can be changed very radically and very quickly by information. So coming out of that then, particularly through the bridge to neuroscience then, is what's going on in consciousness studies. And consciousness studies now, it's interesting, at the beginning of consciousness studies, fewer than 5% of scientists believed that there was a shared field. They believed that it all just came from the brain, and it was every brain in the room just doing whatever it was doing. Now, at least, where we are today, over 50% of scientists in consciousness studies believe that we are in a shared field. Now, that's a big duh to people from the science, from the spiritual communities and the subjective world. But finally now, science is starting then to catch up with that.
To fill our souls with honey, sweeter than any tastes we know of, finer than any grain of salt. The minerals and crystals speak to us. The waters of the world need love too. The trees need a hug. The animals and first peoples have been preaching this message for thousands of years, but we were sleeping. The sleeping giants awakened, and time at last for my dreams to come true. I dream a dream, and the time has come now. It is here to let go of what was and be the light of the world. We each share this light, so let us shine on. Sweet diamond glory, shine on, shine on, shine on. Shine our light and be the light, the peace, the way to return home. Still breathing, keeping the dream alive. Welcome home, everyone. We are one. Love ourselves, love the earth. Find peace inside and find peace on earth. We are one with everything. And it is time to grasp this knowing. As many are teaching us this fact, the indigenous first peoples were the first to try to alert us. Let us go back to their ways, for the whole wide world is in our hands.
Hi everyone, happy Earth Day. I just wanted to say a few words before I sing. I chose a song called Springtime. And the reason I chose this song is because springtime is one of my absolute favorite seasons here on planet Earth. And the reason why is because springtime is a time of rebirth, a time of cleansing, and a time of renewal. So I wanted to say for all of us, we are all little Earths, we are all little universes, and we are all living organisms like planet Earth. So like Earth, time for all of us right now is for renewal, for cleansing, for rebirth, to plant seeds that we want to see grow in the future. So I wish everybody to do that, and that we can all respect ourselves and respect our bodies and respect our mother, planet Earth. Thank you.
Can't wait to do some more stuff.
Well, it's really the energy of the room also. I mean, if you do the same thing in a bar or something like that, it wouldn't have the same effect, but the spiritual energy and the aspiration was already there in the room. So you just like rode that magic carpet and had a beautiful time.
That was a lovely way of putting it. Yeah, we were in a beautiful church, and besides being in a beautiful church, the people that were in that room and the intentions of love and really caring about the earth and
True.
That connected feeling.
But I also created backup tracks to simulate a 57-piece orchestra.
That was exquisite.
To do my dear friend's orchestration of a beautiful devotional melody written by my spiritual teacher, Sri Chinmoy. That's the essence of that song. And then he just orchestrated it so beautifully and lavishly to create what's, I think, is a real masterpiece.
So what brought you to the most incredible place that you are right now?
Wow. Meditation, pursuit of the infinite, pursuit of the highest within oneself. That's what brought us here to this present moment, brought us here tonight, brought us together.
Yes.
And the journey continues.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got some great footage of you tonight.
Thank
And
you.
if someone wanted to find you, what's the best way to find you?
Well, the usual social media. You can look up for Premik, Premik, and last name is Tubbs, Tubbs on Facebook. I also have a premik.com website. And just don't confuse me with 100 million Bangladeshis, because Premik is actually a very common Bengali name.
Really?
Yeah.
What does it mean? Do you know?
Well, the literal translation is like lover, but my guru's interpretation was, he said it means, in my case, the God lover who loves the Supreme Being soulfully and unconditionally.
What an amazing night.
Beautiful night.
Oh my God. So you were playing multiple instruments this evening.
Tonight was mostly soprano, saxophone, and flute.
And if someone wanted to find you, what's the best way to find you?
Well, the usual social media. You can look up for Premik, Premik, and last name is Tubbs, Tubbs on Facebook. I also have a Premik.com website. And just don't confuse me with 100 million Bangladeshis, because Premik is actually a very common Bengali name.
Really?
Yeah.
What does it mean? Do you know?
Well, the literal translation is like lover, but my guru's interpretation was, he said it means, in my case, the God lover who loves the Supreme Being soulfully and unconditionally.
So I want you to just pay attention for a moment. Look over there to these lights. And just feel as if the frequency of color is going over your whole being, allowing for peace, an inner sense of sacredness, and a place for healing as well. And as we're getting connected to the earth with our open hearts, we're connecting to all consciousness, to all time, all space, and all dimensions. And we're receiving the frequency of the truth of who we already are.
So tell us how it came across for you, what it felt to you to
Well,
see
for me, this whole night was a ritual. You know, it really was. It was a coming together. It was bringing people, and it was energizing them. And Jody brought them so deep, and Mitchell and everybody else just made them better. And I think we all felt that we all came away a lot better and brighter.
And feel that love emanating through us, and feel it making a difference, as if it's actually a tangible, which it is, a tangible experience of all connectedness, unity consciousness, goodness for all.
Speaking and feeling the energy of the room and connecting with people, and I go at a certain kind of rhythm and pace so that I have time, there's enough silence and quiet in between what I say, and because I feel like I'm receiving from people too.
Yes.
And so I'm kind of tuned in to the larger collective.
And take a few deep breaths. Remember, we're planting the seeds of just that Barbara had mentioned before. So when you take...
So please take a seed, go to a park,
go someplace and literally, these are seeds that will grow. And your blessings, our prayers are in it, and any place, wherever you are, some of you from New Jersey, Long Island, Connecticut, wherever, let's plant these all over. And, seeds, plants, trees talk to each other. It's a whole other, evening. But, we've discovered that the roots talk to each other all over the planet. So they will spread the word of what we've done and who we are, and that we are all together as our circle is really open, yet remains unbroken. So be it.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Andrew Kaen. This is our 11th year, so to number 12. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here, and we'll see you on the 12th annual celebration next year.
Well, this has been an amazing experience. Thank you all for watching this and being part of it, and we're so grateful to be part of it. It's like the essence of we and we consciousness, and since my organization, We the World, the We campaign at we.net. That's why I'm saying it's all about we, but also it's so wonderful to have an experience that does three things: inspire, inform, and involve. I call that three I's that make a we: inspire, inform, and involve. And so those we find to be the best events, and that's what this event was tonight. So thank you.
Well, lots of love, and that's what was projected this evening. Love for each other, love for the earth. And Andrew, anything you want to add as a finale?
May peace prevail on earth.
Amen.
Well, with love and light, I hope you enjoy the show and the beautiful people that that ignited this day. Happy Earth Day and many blessings.
Thank you. Happy Earth Day.